Yeah, that was for us. It was for me last time.
Good too. Richard, did you want some bells?
Well, if you're offering, I don't want to take it from somebody else. Thank you.
Okay, forgot.
Glad you're here.
Listen and have music these days. It makes you sleep.
Absolutely.
It's an extra sleep.
It's a sleep, yeah. Sleep here.
Let you get in the
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleigh song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bride was seated by my side. And fortune born and bled, misfortune seemed his lot. We got into a drifting bank and then we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is wide, go it while you're young. Take the girls tonight and sing the sleighing song. Just in a bobtail bay, 240 for his speed. Then hitch him to an open sleigh and crack, you'll take the lead. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
All right, we are getting into the spirit. I did say let's do childlike spirit today. Yes, like a kid on Christmas morning. So welcome. Welcome to the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, where we are transforming lives, building dreams, and revealing love, where all we ask is that you stay completely open to changing your life by changing your mind. Welcome home. I'm Valerie Reeves, Spiritual Director of the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm excited to be here. We're into the holiday spirit. So with that, hello to everyone online. Thank you for coming and joining us today. Let's stand and sing our community song and get into that holiday spirit.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. You'll go down in history. You'll go down in history.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, choir. And thank you, Lori, for that great kazoo. Good morning, everyone. I'm Deb Kearns, and it's my pleasure to be here with you today. I am knowing that everyone is feeling energized, yes? And ready for our service. Here at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, we are an all-inclusive center of love. We recognize and celebrate each person as divinely unique. We view each individual as an expression of the one spirit in all. Together, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles that support our core values, which are love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, service, and diversity. Thank you all for choosing to be here today. Welcome home. And thank you to everyone who's joining us online today as well. Say hello in the chat box and let us know where you're watching from and how you're doing today. We love to connect with you. If you're joining us for the very first time and today in person, we offer you a very special welcome. Thank you for being here. And if you don't already have one, there is a welcome packet you can pick up at our welcome table to the right as you exit the sanctuary doors. There's more information about our center and also our Books and More gift shop, which will be open again right after service and during office hours throughout the week. All the ways that you can connect with our center can be found in your program, so please take it home with you to keep handy and connect with the office if you have any questions. We also have a texting service that you can join. We send out announcements, inspirational messages, and event reminders. This is also another way you can reach the office if you have a question or prayer request and would like us to text you. There is no cost to sign up, so I encourage everyone to join. The number is up on the monitors and on the back of your program. And now it's time for our announcements. Current happenings at our center can always be found at the concierge table, online through our social media platforms, and the community calendar, which is found on our website. These are all updated regularly, so please check in as often as you can because we're always adding new and exciting opportunities to gather here together. We also have a printed calendar of events and affirmations that you can take home as well. They're very handy to have. The breath work and movement session with House of Frog that was scheduled for today after service has been canceled due to illness. Please be on the lookout for a rescheduled date. We apologize for any inconvenience and wish them good health. Join Brandy and her team from the Glowing Gracefully workshop and class series this Saturday, December 14th at 11:30 a.m. They will be teaching aroma, touch, hand massage techniques and sampling essential oils. For more information, see the flyer in the garden room or connect with Brandy. The participation fee is $10. Refreshments will be served. As always, this is a make and take workshop as well. And if you haven't been to one of these wonderful workshops, you will leave feeling glowing inside and outside. So I really enjoyed it myself. So with that, we want to definitely glow. Next Sunday, December 15th, right after service, we have our monthly board meeting. We meet while we eat. Oh, I like that. Dr. Seuss would be proud. We meet while we eat. So take your lunch or have pizza and salad on us. All are welcome to join the meeting. Karaoke night, hosted by Tina, is set for Friday, December 20th from 6 to 9 p.m. Can I hear a woohoo? All are welcome, and so are donations. Join Judy for a special once-a-year winter solstice meditation. On Saturday, December 21st, there are 2 sessions available. Choose either 10:30 or 12 noon. Spaces are limited, so please sign up and pay your $15 at the bookstore to reserve your spot as soon as possible. We don't want you to miss out. Our board nomination committee has information at the concierge table. If you are interested in running for the board or would like to nominate someone, this is open to active members only, and the other qualifications are up on the screen as well. The deadline to submit an application is January 12th. As a reminder, our practitioner team is here to serve you. You can find a prayer request box in the garden room or see the practitioner of the day every Sunday right after service near the piano for a quick spiritual mind treatment, which is the science of mind philosophy, is what we call affirmative prayer. Our practitioners are here to know the truth for you and work with you as you change your thinking, which in turn changes your life. Thank you, practitioners, for your service. We appreciate you. And now, I welcome all of you who would like to join us for hugs and handshakes. So let's have everyone stand up if you are ready, and we're going to do our hugs and handshakes.
All right, one more time.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We wish you a Merry
Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Choir, you can come down now.
Sit over there.
Thanks, choir. That's awesome. So, I don't want to say this is awkward, but we are having new members Sunday, and we have 3 new members, and I don't see any one of them here. But, you know, life is good, so I am knowing that all is well. I thought Wesley was going to be here, Catherine, and I knew Sandy wasn't going to be here because he's over in Europe. So let's just welcome our new members and say yay, and we will schedule it for another time, so all is well. So I'm going to let you take it away as we move into service.
Sorry. Good morning.
All good.
It is wonderful to be here. So please join me in the affirmation today. I will read it once, and then if you wouldn't mind, join me for the second 2 times. So, I am in harmony with the creative process of life, and I manifest success with ease. Now, if you would with me, I am in the harmony with the creative process of life, and I manifest success with ease. I am in the harmony with the creative process of life, and I manifest success with ease. And so it is. So Dr. Ernest Holmes' promise, and they are in your programs or also up on the monitors. So if you would want to read along with me, either silently or out loud, please do. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, wealthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to speak the truth to inner soul, letting it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into song of joy and the realization of limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. And now for our contemplation time. I invite you to relax and turn within for just a moment, and then we'll move into music. Thank you, Lori and Chris. That was absolutely stunning. So I am excited to have Clay join me in doing our lighting of the flame of faith. So we perform the flame of faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people and all faiths and all beings come from one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religions and experience which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic tradition, honoring belief, practices of indigenous people, the way of primal spirit. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the nature's way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and path of consciousness. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring Christ consciousness as a path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring prayer, the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, acknowledging all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that we are all welcome here. And as Clay lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of spiritual's eternal love. And if you would, just take that deep breath. And it feels comfortable, close your eyes, or take that nice soft focus on the Christmas tree or something else in the room or at home that just relaxes you as we go into our affirmation prayer. God, that one spirit, the spirit of light that shines in and through and around everyone, everything, every being, every rock. God of love, of truth, of wholeness, the healing that just radiates out through life, this congregation. And I know I am one with this light of love, this light of peace, harmony, happiness. I am whole, perfect, and complete. And I know as a community, we come together in this light, in this love, as we support and care and commune with each other in our daily activities and our weekly Sundays. And I'm so grateful for this understanding, this teaching, this shining light that just beams into this lovely sanctuary where we sit. And I'm blessed to have you and everyone as a community. For we are truly one, and we are truly one with the area and the environment and the people all around us. And I gently and easily release this into a universe that says yes. And so it is. Amen.
And now, Reverend Valerie.
Woo! Today, my talk title is Living Authentically, which is so much fun, living authentically and really. And I, first of all, want to just say I was in Oklahoma for about a week with my sister, which was a lot of fun, because she is like enthusiasm on steroids. She's like yelling out the window. She sees me at the airport yelling, and everybody's looking like, who is she yelling at? And she gets out and jumps all around and gives me a hug. So when you're greeted with that much enthusiasm, now I know why people have dogs, right? Not saying that about my sister, but she has the enthusiasm of that. And everything we did was all about her dog. So, and she, yeah, it's all good. So a lot of fun, but I got back and I got to walk into this beautiful winter wonderland. How many of you participated in decorating? Please stand or raise your hand or whatever you feel like doing. But thank you. Thank you. I love it. I love the creativity, I love the beauty, I love the lights, I love seeing it all. I do not like doing it. And in living authentically, I know that truth about myself, that I am not a decorator. So that is all good, and I'm glad that some of you are and embrace that. I did learn years ago that Christmas was not my favorite thing. Just because it became so commercial. It's like we got to buy, and having 4 children, trying to keep it all equal for 4 children was just a lot. And my brother, who has 6 children, and we both for a short time were single parents. He's remarried now, a time or 2, I think. Yeah. Anyway, we decided that instead of going out and getting into the commercialism, that we would make a memory. What can we do to make a memory? Let's take the kids and go somewhere, do some kind of memory, or do some kind of craft, or do vision boards, do something that makes a memory. And so that is always my goal with each one of my children, all of my family and friends, to make a memory versus giving something. Because then it just seems like kind of an exchange. So finding something that works for you, I think, is so incredibly important. And being authentic, it's like I don't have to jump into the ways of the world and go shop, shop, shop. I can just go make a memory. It's like, what memory can we have today? And as I was thinking about it, and we were going through this wonderful meditation with Reverend Ann today, and she is one of our new staff ministers. We're going to do an installation for her in January, so welcome aboard here. We are very happy to have her as part of our family, so definitely a welcome. She was leading us through this meditation on, may I have peace, may I have love, may I have communion with not only myself, but with my family, my friends, and those that may be a little more difficult to be with. And I was thinking of my youngest son, and when he would come to stay with me, because we had this kind of tradition, it's like as he was growing up, we're doing the tuck in, and then as he got older, he's like, I'll tuck you in. So whenever I go to stay with him, he always comes in and does that little tuck in. It's like, to be an adult and have your child tuck you in, it's just beyond. Yeah, so that's part of living authentically and doing what is you marching to the beat of your own drum. And each one of us are individualized expression, and yet we are not alone, because if we get into that, I'm the only one that's ever going through this, I'm the only one, I'm so unique, that we may separate ourselves from other people. But what I found is that many of our stories have an undertone that could be the same. Years ago, I did a project with a friend of mine. She called it Throw Like a Girl, because if you're a girl, you throw like a girl. So there you go. And we had these little girls from 9 to 12, right before they got into the teenage years. And we would sing this song, In Your Story is My Story, with its pain and its glory. In your story is my story growing on. So all of us have an underlying story, but we have our story, and it may seem so unique and so different, and yet if you really looked out in the world, you might find that there are other people that have that same story. So we are not separate. And in this philosophy, we do teach that there is only one. There's only one. And today, I'm going to talk about some of that. So I have this first quote up here. The mind is a magnet, and we attract that with which we identify the self. The mind is a magnet. Now, I was reading this quote to my granddaughter yesterday, and she's like, I don't get it. She's 8, and it's like, well, it's like you're a magnet, and you attract the things that you think about all day long. You attract the situations, the people, so you want to make sure that your thoughts are good and positive about everyone and everything. And then I was doing some research. There is what we call mirror neurons. So they discovered these in the 90s, these mirror neurons, and how they discovered it is they had monkeys hooked up to an encephalogram, measuring the brain waves and what lights up in the brain. And the caretaker that was taking care of them went out to get some food, and he came in, and the monkey, was neutral until the guy came in and started eating a banana. And then everything in the monkey's mind lit up like he was eating the banana. Or she. Might have been a girl monkey. So, we don't know. So they started doing a lot of research, and they found that we light up because we identify, because there's only one, is what I come back to. There's only one, but there's a lot of research on the mirror neurons and how we connect with other people. There is something inside of us, and we're so brilliant, I love that connects with other people, that we want to be like each other. There's something that wants to have that connection. Now, when I was back in corporate America, we used to teach that if you mirror the other person's body language, that they will be more accepting of you. Now, researchers found that may not be necessarily true. However, people tend to like people that are like them. So that mirroring thing is there. And when you first meet a person, and you can all just yell this out, whatever you think, when you first meet a person, what is the first thing you notice? Closing, smile, eyes, face. Most of us are thinking face or eyes. What they have done with research is they have found that we notice the hands first. See, yes, the hands. So, okay, I listened to a brilliant TED Talk, and it told me this. So I know it's true. But they notice the hands first, and it comes back from caveman days when you looked at the hands to see if they're carrying a weapon or anything that might hurt them. And what they found in research with TED Talks is that the more that a person moved their hands, the more hits they got on social media. So I'm moving my hands a lot. I always say, if you tied me up, I wouldn't be able to talk. But making sure that what we're saying is the same as what we're expressing. If I said it's a large thing, it's like, well, that doesn't match with what I'm saying. It's a large thing. But because we are so brilliant, somewhere inside of us, we get what's true and what's not true. There's also a part of our brain that lights up when somebody is doing something in front of us, either negative or positive. It's the mirror neurons, which means to me that we're all connected. And it also means to me that we need to have time on our own where we're not so inundated with so many people all the time, where we get to remember who my authentic self is. And do a cleansing if the energy has been negative, and we feel it. And being authentic means that we may want to step out of a situation. I remember listening to Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, listening to her talk about a conversation where everybody was arguing about where to go eat, and it's like, I'm just going to go over here. I'm not going to be in this argument because that doesn't serve me. So stepping out of situations, if it's something that isn't serving us, maybe we want to step out of that situation, lovingly, politely, kindly, or quickly, however we need to do that. And so Ernest Holmes says, no, Brené Brown says this, I'm not there, because Ernest Holmes says that. So we have another. Owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Make peace with our story. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love and belonging and joy, the experiences that make us most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. I feel like we need to break into the song, This Little Light of Mine. I'm going to let it shine. And part of that comes down to being vulnerable, being truthful and honest with ourselves, living authentically, what serves me, what works for me, and what doesn't work for me. And you get it pretty clearly if you get some time with yourself. Of course, I know what happens with me, and it may happen with you, I'm sure, is that when you get alone time with yourself, sometimes the inner committee steps in. And it's not just one voice. I got my voice, I've got my mother's voice, my dad's voice, my daughter's voice, my sons, all three of them, their voice, my children, my sister, my second grade teacher. Voices pop in our heads, right? So it's like, okay, can I just listen to that, make peace with it, move forward with it, and listen to the voices inside my head that say, I am enough. Because we want to magnetize to us people that are loving and kind and have made peace with themselves versus the opposite. Because as magnets, like attracts like, we want to make sure that we are creating within ourselves that which we want, which is peace, love, and joy, abundance, goodness, health, harmony. And in order to get that, I want to make sure that I'm planting those seeds of love and kindness and being authentic to myself, which may mean that I say, I'm not buying Christmas presents. That's not my thing. I'm going to make a memory. That's my thing. Because we sometimes get caught up into the ways of the world that says, this is what we do, this is what we do, and this is what we do. And it's like, yeah, I don't think so. And living in the life that you want and not getting so caught up onto our old stories. Let me tell you, I used to walk around with a billboard basically telling my old story. Here's my story. That's why I'm like this. And it was kind of a victimhood mentality, and so I had to step out of that. I almost think of that thing from Moonstruck when Cher slaps him and says, snap out of it. So sometimes I have to do that when I get onto those mindsets and that old story. It's like, snap out of it. Let's snap into the story that works for me, which is that there's peace, love, and harmony, and every one of us have our own brilliant light. And it might shine different than somebody else's, but that's okay. We're going to march to the beat of our own drum and not believe what anything else in the world says about us or to us. It's not personal. I always tell my granddaughters, it's like, it's about them, it's not about you. If somebody has something to say it's about them, it's not about you. Just find your own truth and your own love. They did some research with some people that were in jail that had victimized other people, and they did a video of New York City, the street corner, people walking by, and they asked each one of them, who would you mug or who would you attack? Sorry, this was real research. And every single one of them picked the same people. Because it was people that were not standing and being authentic in their own. It was people that they were holding into fear. They were walking very carefully and fearfully. And it's like, I don't want to be that energy of fear. I want to be that energy of love and walking with purpose. And I know where I'm going, and I know what I'm doing, and I know that all is well, and that past story is the past story. It's in the past. We get to let it go. And then just embrace today. And what is new and exciting today? And that doesn't mean that if something that I'm sad about, I'm going to feel the emotion, give myself X amount of time, and then I'm going to move forward. And if something really wonderful or something exciting is happening, I'm going to feel the emotion and continue to move forward. And look for more wonderful things to get excited about. How many of you have gone to Wicked? The movie. I'm going to go again and again and again. I told my oldest son, I said, I only cried 3 times in there. And he's like, only 3? Wow. Only because it was just so beautiful and so magical and so wonderful that it just touched my heart at the core. So living authentically, feeling our emotions and feeling what we feel and seeing the beauty and the love and the goodness. And making sure that we're reframing it if we're seeing it in a negative way, seeing anything in life in a negative way. Let me reframe it. And remember that when people are going through stuff, hurt people hurt people. And so if somebody has hurt me, it's like, I forgive them because evidently they were going through something. And let me just bless them and love them and send them on their way in my mind. And let me make sure that I and being at that space of peace and love and harmony, especially this time of year. Because to be able to walk into a space and love everyone just as they are and just as they aren't, while we are loving ourselves just as we are and just as we aren't. Because let me tell you, that inner committee can kick in and beat me up if I let it. And this is where our whole change your thinking, change your life comes about. It's like, all right, that thought is not serving me. Let me move to a different thought. Let me think something better. And let me have the hope and the joy and the excitement for this moment, because we get to breathe. No one's holding our breath for us. No one's keeping us from that. There's an abundance of air, so we rejoice in that. And if someone doesn't have a smile, we give that to them, because that will touch people at a level that we can't even imagine. I have another quote, and this one is by Ernest Holmes, the founder of this philosophy. The more power one gives to his or her thought, the more completely one believes that their thought has power, the more power it will have. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what they think into it. Let us waste no further time looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. It's all inside of us. It's there. We just got to maybe dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper and be mindful of what we're thinking about. Because I tell you, I can have a thought that can take me on a downward spiral. Or I can step into a different thought, a new thought that makes me feel good and excited. Because I can get into the woe is me, or woe is this situation, or just say, you know what, something wonderful is happening, and let's stay in the curiosity of it. Let's be excited about it. I'm going to move on to another Ernest Holmes quote. I know that there is a power for good which is responding to me and bringing into my experience everything that is necessary to my unfoldment, to my happiness, to my peace, to my health, and to my success. One of the things Ernest Holmes, great philosopher who put this whole philosophy together, found after looking at all the different religions, all the different philosophies, brilliant minds, is that the universe is always conspiring for our highest and best, always. Now, if I'm walking through life knowing that the universe has got my back, I might step it up a little better, you know? I might be a little excited about that, or I might be a lot excited about that. It's like, okay, the universe is conspiring and it just needs to work in tandem with me and my thoughts. Are my thoughts in alignment? Am I authentically living my life? And then keeping ourselves in check. You know, I believe in respectful communication, and I can see, oh, maybe I've been a little out of integrity here and there. So it's like, okay, it is time to up my thoughts of myself and my direction and what I'm doing and what I'm sharing. So making sure that I'm respectfully communicating with myself while I'm respectfully communicating with others. Respectful communication basically is that I will respect a person enough to come to them if I have an issue. Talk it out, let's work it out. And if you have an issue with me, respectfully come to me, let's talk about it, let's work it out, so that we can move forward with respect. And if somebody else comes to you talking about me, say it sounds like an A-B conversation, I'm gonna see my way out. Maybe you wanna talk to that person, right? Talk one-on-one. So making sure that we are respecting ourselves, because at the end of the day, that integrity that we have with ourselves, by respecting ourselves and respecting others, because we're all one. I wanna make sure that I can sleep well at night, knowing that I have been respectful, I have been loving and kind, not only to myself, but to each and every person in my world. Now, I used to work for a company that we had respectful communication. It was in our contract that we signed that said, I will not talk about anyone else unless they are present. If I am caught talking about someone else and they are not present, I will be terminated. No ifs, no buts, no. And at first it's like, whoa. But we were trained to make sure if somebody comes to me to talk about someone else, I'm in jeopardy of losing my job because we're talking about that person and they're not here. So, oh, sounds like that's an issue with that person. Have you talked to them? Could I talk to them with you? I can be a mentor for you. And we were all trained in mentoring each other to our highest and best. It was the most professional company I've ever worked for. It was the no gossip code of conduct, and I encourage everyone to have that for their own life, but definitely companies to have that, where it's, well, she said and he said, and then we get into this whole thing that creates a lot of drama. I don't want drama in my life. I might like a soap opera once in a while, but I don't want that drama in my life. So making sure that we are being in integrity with ourselves. If I have an issue, I need to go directly to the source, and I'm just reminding myself that. And if they have an issue with me, come directly to me. You're all invited to do that. If there's an issue, talk it out, let's work it out, and let's love ourselves to the next level. I have another quote. We swim in a sea of infinite possibilities. The only thing that limits us is our perspective. That's the only thing that limits us, is our perspective. Our perspective of ourselves, that maybe I'm not worthy, then that's the time to do a lot of affirmations. Say, I am worthy of everything like everyone else. All the brilliant minds, all the very creative people, I am worthy of the same. Change our perspective so we can change our life. Change the perspective of how we see things, how we see our life, how we see others, and know that each person is on their own journey. And so I'm going to put a mission out to all of you. I know that a few weeks ago I talked about taking 30 minutes every single day to visualize your life and to really be with yourself, visualize exactly what you want. I'm going to increase that, add on to that, take time every single day to be with you. Trust me, because I lived at a yoga retreat center for a whole summer, and there was no TV. There were some groups that would come to the retreat. It was a yoga retreat center. I got to run the coffee shop, so that was awesome. Learned how to make chai. It was fantastic. And my youngest son was there, and his now bride is there. And so I found that most of the time, because we're out in nature, it was up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and it was beautiful. And yet there was too much silence that I had to listen to my brain, listen to myself. And I was like, can I go down the hill today? Because I just need, more interaction. But it was a really great time for me to take a look at, wow, sometimes just sitting with myself is not the easiest thing in the world. So making peace with that and knowing that it's all good, it's all God. Things in the past are in the past, and what do I want to create for the future? So take that 30 minutes every single day. Visualize, what do you want for the new year? What do you want your life to be about? What is your purpose? And then 30 minutes, we're adding on, 30 minutes to have some playtime. Get some Play-Doh, get a Slinky, get a yo-yo, get some bubbles. You can always put your affirmations in a bubble and blow it out to the universe, because the universe is conspiring for your highest and best always. So take some playtime. Make sure that you're doing that during this holiday season. Listen to a kid's laughter. And if you aren't around kids, there are 150 million videos online of babies laughing or children laughing. So do that. So that is the charge. And so I'm going to have us go inside our heart of hearts for just a moment, just breathing in the fullness of life. And just letting go of anything that doesn't serve. Knowing that in this moment, each and every one of us are living authentically. We are honoring the I am that we are beautifully and brilliantly. Because as we honor ourselves, we honor each other. And if we want a world that works for everyone, a world where people are happy, joyous, peaceful, loving, kind, then we start with ourselves. So sending that beautiful, magic, Christmas energy out to each and every person, knowing that this is the best Christmas ever. That we learn to love ourselves at a deeper, deeper level, making peace with ourselves and peace with people in our world. As we just take that in great gratitude, knowing that there's health, there's harmony, there's prosperity, there is goodness, there is peace, and there is love and joy and laughter. And in great gratitude for that laughter, that love, that peace, that recognition, that authentically you, I just release my word knowing all is well. And so it is. So it is. Now let's invite the choir to come back up, give us some joyful music. Joyful music, and we're coming up joyfully, happily, authentically, beautifully, eloquently. that giving time. We have lots of ways to give. You can even use the QR code on the back of your program. If you're at home, you can click online and donate here online. And those of you that are live and in person can give however you want to give. So let's say our giving affirmation. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of the spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need.
Divinely blessed. Knowing that supporting this center, we enrich ourselves, we enrich this center to do great work in the world. Knowing that life is good and life is very good, and in great gratitude for the givingness, knowing that divine prosperity and blessings are upon all of us. I just release my word knowing all is well. And so it is. So it is. All right. I'm looking to see if the kids are coming yet. I'm sure. Are they coming? You can see them? Okay. Kids are coming. Yay. All right. Reminder that Practitioner Prayer Circle will be here after service. We have lots of goodies, cookies and coffee in the other room, and so we will all stand. Did either one of you want to say anything? No? Okay. Thank you for being here. So let's stand, make our circle, and circle up for our closing song. Did you?
I can't help it. Life is good, all is well.